Hey there, fellow deep divers. Ever wish you could hack your workday to be less about the grind and more about, well, getting things done?
What's fascinating is how these tips aren't about adding more to your plate.
We're on a mission today to unlock that elusive state of organized productivity, our source. A piece on career and professional development that's packed with practical tips to transform chaos into calm.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Okay, so first up, the good old to-do list. I have to admit, I used to think, yeah, just write it down.
Exactly.
But this source made me realize I was missing the strategy behind it.
It's about intentional prioritization. You've probably heard of urgent versus important, but it's easy to get caught up in the tyranny of the urgent. Think about it, that email notification demanding an immediate response.
Urgent, sure, but does it move the needle on your actual goals?
Probably not as much as, say, carving out focused time for that project with a looming deadline. It's about making conscious choices about where your energy goes.
So true. Now, this source also dives into the world of tech tools. Trello, Asana, Microsoft To Do.
Absolutely.
Not saying we all need to become app obsessed, but it's interesting to see specific tools mentioned, right?
But the key takeaway here isn't about using any specific app. It's about understanding your workflow. Think of it like this. You wouldn't use a hammer to tighten the screw.
The right tool for the job makes all the difference.
And in this case, the job is a focused, productive you.
Speaking of creating the right environment, this next tip really hits home for me, decluttering. I swear a clean workspace does something to my brain.
It's not just you.
There's actually cognitive psychology behind this.
Clutter competes for your attention, creating mental noise that makes it harder to focus. It's like your brain is trying to process that stack of papers in the corner while you're also trying to write a report. Decluttering isn't just about aesthetics. It's about giving your mind the space to actually think.
Okay, on to a tip that might be newer for some listeners, time blocking. I'll admit, this one intimidated me at first.
Imagine taking your to-do list, and instead of just listing tasks, you assign them dedicated time slots in your day.
But once I got the hang of it, game changer.
It's especially powerful for those big, meaty projects or tasks that need deep focus. Instead of reacting to what pops up, you're proactively deciding how your time is spent.
Can you break down the basics for us?
So it's less about scheduling every single minute,
So it's less about scheduling every single minute,
more about being strategic with those focus-heavy tasks, right?
more about being strategic with those heavy tasks, right?
Exactly.
It's about reclaiming control of your time,
It's about reclaiming control of your time,
not letting it control you.
not letting it control you.
Love it. And last but definitely not least, the power of the daily review. I used to think this was just about checking things off.
Think of it as a mini debrief with yourself.
But it's so much more, isn't it?
Did you accomplish what you set out to do?
What went well?
What obstacles did you encounter?
By reflecting on your day, you gain valuable insights that feed directly into planning a better tomorrow. It's like leveling up your organizational skills one day at a time. So, to wrap this all up, it's not about drastic overhauls. It's about those small but mighty shifts that add up to a calmer, more productive work life. If you could only choose one thing from today's deep dive to try, what resonates with you most right now, give it a shot. You might be surprised at the impact. Until next time, happy organizing.